90. On special triangles, first we're doing 45, 45, 90. I want everyone to draw this model. Okay, 45, 45, 90 triangle follows the same model every single time. Okay, so I'm going to draw myself a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Okay. First, let's label what each side is called. Okay. What side is this right here? What's it called?
The base.
Not the base. Think
leg.
of triangles. What's it called? It starts with the H.
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. It's straight across from that right angle. So I want you to label that hypotenuse. Okay, hypotenuse is across from that right angle. What are the other two sides called? Legs. Yep. Both of these two sides are called the legs. Okay. With 45, 45, 90 triangles, the legs are the exact same. So I'm just going to put an X there. Okay. So if this side length was 3, what would this side length be?
3.
Also 3. Okay. Now to get to the hypotenuse, it's going to be X times the square root of 2. Okay. So here I have 3 as my legs. Yes?
Yeah.
And we're trying to get to the hypotenuse. Well, what's the difference from my leg over here to my hypotenuse? What's the only difference?
2.
That square root of 2, right? So from the leg to get to the hypotenuse, all we're doing is we're multiplying by the square root of 2.
Oh.
So what's 3 times the square root of 2?
6 square root of 2.
Well, careful.
3 square root.
Remember, it's just 3 square root of 2. Yep.
Oh, that's good.
So your hypotenuse for that specific triangle would be 3 square root of 2. Because all I did, I'm going from leg to the hypotenuse, is I'm multiplying that by the square root of 2. Okay? So going from the leg to the hypotenuse, okay, I'm emphasizing the word to, is because we're multiplying. Okay? Leg to the hypotenuse, we're multiplying. What do you think we're going to do if we're going backwards? What's the opposite of multiply? Divide. We're going to divide. Okay? Let's look at an example like this. First, you want to ask yourself, what does it give you? Does it give us the leg, or does it give us the hypotenuse? On this one, it gives us the hypotenuse because it's straight across from that right angle. So we have the hypotenuse. How do we go from hypotenuse back to the leg?
Divide by square root.
Divide. Yep. The only number we're ever going to use with 45, 45, 90 triangles is that square root of 2, because that's the only number that you see in this model over here. Okay, so going to, we're multiplying. What's happening when we're going back? Dividing. Okay, so I'm going to take 7 square root of 2, my hypotenuse, and I'm going to divide that by the square root of 2. Okay, what did we learn last week with this, if we have something that looks like this?
Can't have a.
Right, you can't have a radical on the bottom, but what's nice about this one?
Oh.
It's the same thing on top, so it's cancel.
Same thing on top and bottom, so those can cancel out.
It's just 7.
So you're just left with 7. So I get 7 for this side over here, but what do I know about that other side?
It's
They're
the
the
same.
same.
It's also 7. Okay, so once you know one of the legs, you know the other one because they're the same. Okay? So those are the only 2 methods that you're going to use for 45, 45, 90 triangles. Those are the only 2. You're either going to multiply by the square root of 2 or you're going to divide by the square root of 2. Okay? I want you to go ahead and try 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Done.
Okay? Okay, on number 1, first you want to ask yourself, what does it give you? What part of the triangle did it give you?
Leg.
Gave us the leg. How do we go from leg to the hypotenuse? We're going to multiply, and then what's the only number we're using for these triangles?
2.
Square root of 2. Okay, so we're going to do 4 times the square root of 2. Can I do anything with that? No. Okay, so it just stays. Number 2, what does it give me? Gives me the leg. So how do I go from leg to the hypotenuse?
Square root of 2.
Multiply by what?
Square root of 2.
Square root of 2. Can I do anything with that?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, on number 3, how is it different?
You divide by square root of 2.
Because it gives us what?
It gives us the
The
hypotenuse.
It gives me the hypotenuse, so I want to go backwards, so I need to divide by square root of 2 instead of multiply. What happens there?
They cancel and we get 3.
Yep, these cancel each other out, and we're left with 3. Okay, what about number 4? What does it give me?
Hypotenuse.
gives me the hypotenuse. How do I go back to the leg?
Divide by square root 2.
Yep, 6 square root of 2 divided by the square root of 2. What happens?
They cancel and you get 6.
They cancel and you get 6. Yeah?
Y'all.
Okay, so you use those two methods. Those are the two methods you decide between what you're solving for. Okay? One more thing to talk about, and that's this example right here. What does it give me?
5.
It gives me the hypotenuse. So how do I go back? Divide by what?
Square root of 2.
Yep, I'm going to do 5 divided by the square root of 2. Now, does anything nicely happen that cancels out?
No.
No. So think back to last week. How did we solve these? We solved it by multiplying by the square root of 2 on the bottom and on the top.
So 5 square
Okay?
root of 2.
So with these, now we just want to multiply across. What do I get on the top?
5 square root of 2.
5 square root of 2. Why can it not be square root of 10?
Because it has
They're not. 5 isn't
5 is
square
not.
root.
Right, 5 is not a radical. Okay, what do I get on the bottom then?
2.
Right, but you can think I get square root of 4, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, can I do anything with the top?
No.
Nope. What about the bottom?
Yeah.
What is it?
2.
Square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so that's another version that you could see solving these. Okay, but it's just like we did last week. Go ahead and try those last two, 5 and 6 on different slides. Okay, first, what does it give you on number 5?
8.
Which is what?
The hypotenuse.
The hypotenuse. So looking at your model over here, how do I go back to the leg?
Divide by square root 2.
Divide by square root of 2. So if I have 8 divided by the square root of 2.
Can't have a radical on the bottom, so multiply.
Right. You can't have a radical on the bottom, so you have to simplify. Square root of 2 over square root of 2. What do I get when I combine the top?
8 square root of 2.
Right. Why can it not be square root of 16?
They're not
Because
the
it's
same
not
square
radical.
root.
Right. It's not a radical. What about the bottom?
Well, if you want to do it,
What's square root of 2 times square root of 2?
4.
Square root of 4. Okay. Keep simplifying. Can I do anything with the top?
Yeah. No, wait, not
No.
yet.
Not yet. Nope. 8 square root of 2. What's the square root of 4?
2.
Just 2. And then one more step I could do is what?
Divide 8 by 2.
Simplify.
Yep, those whole numbers. I have 8 divided by 2, which is 4, square root of 2. Okay, let's talk about that last one. What do we have on this one? Hypotenuse. Okay, so how do I go from the hypotenuse back to the leg? Divide by square root of 2. 12 divided by the square root of 2. What's wrong with it? Radicals in the bottom. How do I get rid of it? Multiply by square root of 2. Okay. Again, what am I going to get on the top? 12 square root of 2. Good. And then what do I get on the bottom? Square root of 4. Good. Can I do anything with the top right now?
No.
Nope. What do I get on the bottom?
2.
2. And then one more step I could do.
12 divided by
12 divided by 2 is
6 square root of
6 square root of 2. Okay. Any questions on 45, 45, 90?
No.